Okay, there we are. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yes. Well, hello, everybody. It's been a minute. I would say it's been a minute, but then Defensive Security Podcast has, started back up again with Jerry and Andy over there doing their thing. I've actually gotten quite the kick of them being on video now. They're on YouTube, but yeah. So we're this
I
is
was their
Breakside.
guest.
You were just a guest?
Mhm.
Oh, I must have missed that one. Wait a minute. Wait.
I think they've not released them yet.
Okay, they said they were going to try to do something a little different with the video part, so I'm assuming they're going to, try to take over our, our little space here with our video and our interviews and stuff, because, we're one of a kind. Nobody ever does anything like us, so.
It was interesting because Jerry was having tile removed in the next room. And I felt so bad because it was like they brought a jackhammer. And, like
Oh my
he kept on
God.
having. Oh my gosh, I felt so bad for him. Like I couldn't imagine trying to podcast with a jackhammer in the next room.
Yeah. He's in between jobs right now, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that's he has some time on his hands. So
yeah.
Oh shit! Don't do that. God damn it. Anyway. Oh, I started the YouTube video, which probably people could hear on the audio bits, but episode 284 of the Defensive Security Podcast is online. So, but yeah, this is Breaksack. For those of you who are, wondering.
This is not the Defensive Security Podcast.
Yeah, you join us for the reaction videos for Defensive Security Podcast.
That's a great idea. Short form. Which one of us is going to go on TikTok? I don't really want to.
Yeah, I can't do TikTok. I don't have the temperament for it. I'm not that dynamic, so I can barely do. I can barely do Twitch. So, but yeah, just one of those things. So, everybody's here. Miss Berlin, Mr. Betcher, everybody's joined us. So there they are. They're right up here and over there and to the sides. So, I know we talked a little bit before, but how's everybody doing this week? And since the last time we talked, there's been a lot going on.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah, been a few conferences.
Busy travel time's done for the year, so that's fantastic.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I went to SaintCon for the first time.
How's that?
Highly recommend.
Really?
Okay. They were fantastic.
Okay.
To meet Jack Rhysider in person because he was, one of our podcast was the first he was ever the guest on.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw him at DEF CON. Yeah, I was got to see him. He was he all like in glasses and a hat, and hiding his face and everything?
Yeah, on stage he was. He did like a live version of his podcast.
Okay.
And it was really like. You would think that he does this all the time in front of thousands of people.
Right.
How great he was. And when he was done, I'm like, because I was the next day keynote. And I was like, shit, I have to go make mine way more entertaining.
I have wanted to do go to more conferences and do that. I think we'll probably do something next year at DEF CON if y'all can make it. If Miss Berlin or Mr. Betcher show up, we'll definitely do something at DEF CON. And like the first year I went, but yeah, I mean it's Jack does put on a good show. He when I saw him at DEF CON, he was his new book is out, his graphic novel was out, and they were signing a bunch of those, which was great. Black Hills had him sponsored, I guess. And yeah, he was there, and he did a double take because he saw me in my goon outfit, and he's like, "Hey, bro, you're here." Yeah, and so yeah, but yeah, he's great people. So
yeah,
I am jealous of his popularity, sadly, but it's I can't begrudge him for that's his job. It's it's unlike this, but I can't. I still can be jealous of his popularity. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Matt put it a different way than I had heard anybody else describe. It's kind of like listening to NPR.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, you're right. Like I didn't think of it like that.
Right. Yeah.
Is it like the sound effects and just like one person talking kind of
Yeah.
storyline.
Yeah. He has sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I don't have that. I should. I have a Stream Deck and everything. I could put like, sounds and banana slips. Yeah. Bow, 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 bow. I'll just make my own. It's fine. It's fine. That kind of thing, But yeah. So SaintCon is highly recommended. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a mini DEF CON, but more wholesome.
Wow.
How long have they been doing that?
Like 27 years or something.
No kidding. No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
SaintCon, huh?
So it's in Utah.
Oh, I thought this one was in New Orleans. That's a different one then.
No,
this one's in Utah. All right. Yeah,
like
Provo,
north of
Utah.
Salt Lake City. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
wow.
They do this little mini badge thing where like vendors and villages and just people and just you name it, like will make and bring these little like 1x1 square PCB boards.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the coolest thing ever. It's like
very nice.
Hogs.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, definitely. That looks like they go all out. So they got a lot of sponsors too. So yeah.
Yeah. Great quality speakers. Like all of the real popular villages that are at DEF CON were there.
Okay.
They do a phenomenal job.
There's quite a few. Quite a few. There's a lot of security in Salt Lake City and a lot of companies in that area. So that makes sense. Because I believe it's proximity to Silicon Valley. That's where like everybody went to before they went to Austin, because it was within like a 45-minute plane flight from SFO if you were coming out of the Silicon Valley. So yeah, very cool. All right, Mr. Boettcher, are you still working remotely? You've not been asked to go into the office.
Still working remotely.
Oh, that's good.
I have not been forced in.
Okay.
Nice.
Was your company, I think you said they were based out of Florida one time. Did they get affected by the hurricanes at all that was happening?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Miami. So all that missed Miami.
Oh, okay. Hey, take a trip down to Miami. Oh, that would be awful. You could spend a few days in sun and sand and surf and.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in the winter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
In Miami, winter is their summer because they can actually go outside during the winter and not get fried or, cooked.
I had a boss. I had a boss when I worked at CrowdStrike. He said, "Oh, it was cold today," and I was like, "You live in Miami, bro." And he's like, "Yeah, when it gets down to 70, we get out the parkas and stuff." And I was like, "Oh my God, okay." Yeah, because it's like 80, 85 almost year round there. So yeah, when it gets down and gets cool, then they break out the jackets and the jeans and the long sleeves. So yeah,
my windows were open. It was like 50 the other night.
Yeah, it's mid 50s here in San Diego overnight now. Unfortunately, it gets dark at like 5 o'clock because of the time change stuff. But I actually like it. It's nice and cool and a bit chilly in the evenings. So yeah. So there's a bit of news. I actually tried to find some stuff that was a bit off the beaten path. Mr. Boettcher, did you come up with an idea? I gave everybody a little homework, but Mr. Boettcher, did you have any ideas for news?
Yeah, I posted a article from Dark Reading.
Oh yeah.
Cybersecurity job market stagnate.
Yep.
Dissatisfaction abound.
Why is it dissatisfaction abounds? As if I didn't already know.
Well, yeah. So basically, they said that the job market hasn't increased in cybersecurity for the first time in a long time. Even last year, it went up quite significantly, but this year it's just like 0 or 0.1%.
Yeah.
So it's basically because of the budgets. Nobody or most companies are not getting an increase in cybersecurity budget.
Right.
So they can't really hire people, and they have staffing shortages or quality shortages
Yep.
that they can't upgrade their staff, they can't add to their staff.
Right.
And so a lot of respondents are having hiring freezes, budget cuts, freezes on promotions, and actually layoffs, some of them too, 25% layoffs. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of layoffs, right? A lot of big companies have laid off over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the that's I think a lot of that is the lack of budget isn't because there's more need. I think some companies are trying to figure out where their next, trying to automate things, right? It feels like everybody's trying to embrace AI, to make things happen. I just went to the Sands Hollywood Hack Fest that they had, and everything was talking about AI and using AI for red teaming and blue teaming and purple teaming and plaid teaming and herringbone, teaming, whatever the fuck all the colors are, and trying to show different ways to use that. And some of it is great. The problem that I think a lot of companies think when they go, oh, well, we'll just AI all the things is they expect the people that they have on their current crew to just, let's get AI, right? Just we'll AI all the things. Unless you have a good data scientist, or unless you actually know how to spell AI or know what to do with it, you're not going to automate those things.
That's right.
I know how to spell it.
I know how to spell it too. But I think a lot of companies are expecting AI just to kind of fall in their laps and solve all of their problems, which, when you hear companies have spent $5-10 billion on, valuations, and then, like Microsoft took a dump on Thursday, I think, because they kind of made a hint that maybe they're not going to see as big a return on investment on AI like they thought they would. And so their stock fell like, $50 or something like that. Every other company that had hedged its bets on saying, well, we're leveraging AI to do all the things also took a shit. I think Amazon went down. Google, I think, took a little hit. Lumen, which had like $3 billion worth of expected business dealing with AI. So I don't want to say there's a bubble, but I think people are like, we've kind of leveled off. And unless you actually know how to use AI in your organization, you're going to have to buy it. So you're not going to get any new budget because that budget is going to have to go to buying whatever the guy who's about to sell you something is telling you it's going to solve all your problems. And I think that's where we're going to have to, I don't know, get ahead of that in some way, try to keep the snake oil out. I don't know what your all's thoughts are on that, but it's like, you're going to have some slick guy come in with a $500 suit and sell your CTO, an AI solution for a couple of $1 million thinking it's going to solve all your problems. And then you're just going to be having a useless box that does nothing because you're going to have to hire somebody to run it for you. I don't think
every other expensive security tool that's out there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And, a lot of companies have, or more than half, say they have a skills gap. Right.
Right.
And
right.
What happens when you have a skills gap in security? You get breached, right?
Yep.
Because you have a lot of people in the org that, they have a lot of gaps in their security,
right,
because of that skills gap.
Right.
And then you want to go hire people to implement AI, but that's like, you're not even doing the basic blocking and tackling there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to read chapter 12 and you're not even done with chapter 3 yet.
Yeah. And this goes back to your hiring bit, what are people hiring for? Is it data scientists? Is it AI related items? Is it, developers that can, use the AI to do so? I mean, yes, I can use Copilot all day. I can use Gemini. I can use all of the other different Claude. I mean, there's a ton of different LLMs and AI related items out there, but unless your product that you're making or the systems that you use can integrate and use that in some way, or you're running into a lot of problems. I'm not an expert in AI. I know people, I know people who do AI where I work, but even then, it's like chat bots and stuff, and it's like, do I really need that? I mean, there's some initiatives for code quality, trying to get rid of QA people by using AI to, look at code. I don't know if some of you, do any of you leverage AI tools at work? I mean, are you,
We've
using
tried
it
a
for?
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've tried a couple. Claude, I found Claude to be the best with code.
Okay.
Yeah, the stuff that's built into like GitLab and like all of that so far, at least my team hasn't found that much use for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
there's so many.
have you just used it for your own personal productivity, or have you integrated that in
yes.
some?
Yeah, no, like I use it for my own personal productivity all the time.
Yeah,
and
but
then
have you integrated AI into some of the tools at work, like to make them better or more efficient? I feel that AI has plateaued right now, right? It came on strong, and now it's like, okay, how do we get this thing better? I don't know. It's almost like the internet when it first came out. People said, hey, this is really cool, but I don't know what to do with it. But you can see the potential. It just took years after that to.
Right. I think we saw the same thing with blockchain, right? Everything was blockchain, this, blockchain, that. And then I don't hear about it anymore because AI and ML are all the new hotness. Right. AI and ML that's
everybody's
everything,
blown past ML because now AI is so accessible.
Right.
I mean, we've done some product stuff with AI, and like I've seen other companies do similar things, and it seems to work okay. That isn't a chat bot. So like if you train it enough and you give it enough information, it can give you good like responsive actions for security, right? Like anything with instant response, like it'll give you some good ideas and walkthroughs on stuff if you give it enough specific information.
Right.
So I've seen a lot. We did a thing that does, you can like it's like a domain scan thing that'll tell you like risk and that kind of stuff. So there are things that you can use it for that are very niche, but just like a broad, trying to get it to work at anything broadly is not going to work.
Right. I think the other side that scares me on this is we're going to put this AI in, but like most tools, if we're not securing it, then now you've got privacy issues. It's like you can use Claude all day. What are you putting in that Claude, and where's that data going? Unless it's on-prem, you really have to know what that's being used for. Are you suggesting, hey, Claude, tell me based on our product roadmap, what do you think we should do? And then it's like, oh, Claude sharing that information with other folks, and who's asking, hey, based on Joe Bob Billy's Tackle Shop roadmap, what do you think we should build? Well, if you want to get out ahead of Joe Bob Billy's Tackle Shop, you need to do this because they're doing this. And you're like, oh crap, okay. Now you've got leaked roadmaps. Now I hate being in FUD mode, but I'm thinking of how people who don't know AI might use this, like myself, and that's what I would say. It'd be like, I want to get first to market. So hey, given the information you know about this company, where do you think we should be ahead of them at? And it's like, well, based on this leaked data that we got from blah, you should probably do this. And I just worry about what data is being put into those things and how it's being trained, I think, is the other thing. If you're training data using your own, business sensitive data, I'm sure your legal team has has nightmares about that and your privacy, folks, as well. So, yeah. So they according to this is ISC squared. Okay, so they asked the question. They said a full 68% agree that within the next 2 years they will be able to use Gen AI effectively as part of their roles. If you're not hiring people, are you training your people on AI stuff? If you're not giving them training, how are they going to do that effectively in 2 years?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And if GPUs are going to be used like this new generation that NVIDIA has,
Yep.
and all of the hype is going to come to fruition in the next couple of years,
Right.
think of how much power is going to be needed. Those things take up 2.7 kilowatts.
I got a nice segue here. When
I mean, what is 2.7 kilowatts for one chip? One chip. That's like somebody's house. That's like a family of 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You must have been watching my stream last Tuesday? Not last Tuesday, but the previous Tuesday.
I had forgotten.
Yes, you did. Apparently, all the big companies, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, have all started partnerships and or have paid a good sum of money to start up and restart nuclear power. So Microsoft paid, I think, $3 billion to upgrade 3 Mile Island, the generator that's left on 3 Mile Island. And there's actually Amazon and Google both have announced in the past couple weeks or month that they are working with small form nuclear reactors that basically are about 10, 15 foot tall and about the width of my desk here, which is about 8 foot, that will generate power to offset the 2,700 terawatts or something like that. I forget. What was it? Amazon data center nuclear. But there's a bunch of companies out there that are publicly traded that went up because of the announcements of those things. So,
and just think, the nuclear industry is just going to have a kickstart now, or right, a jump start.
Yep.
Because now you have this huge lobbying monstrosity that can actually push Congress to pass laws that are favorable to nuclear power.
Right. Yep.
Have you bought your nuclear, your uranium mining stocks yet on the stock market?
I looked into them. I actually didn't buy them yet because they were still a little on the volatile side. Microsoft said last month it plans to restart the reactor at 3 Mile Island so it can buy the power to supply data centers. All 3 companies have been investing in solar and wind technologies because they wanted to offset their greenhouse carbon emissions. According to International Energy Agency, they forecast data centers' total electricity consumption will reach 1,000 terawatt hours in 2026, more than doubling from 2022. 1 terawatt hour can power 70,000 homes for a year. Yes.
1 terawatt hour.
1 terawatt hour. So basically all of Elgin is probably less than 1,000 homes, probably 500 homes. So that's 2 Elgins a year is 1 terawatt hour. But yeah, they said AI is driving significant increase in the amount of data centers and power that are required on the grid. The thing is, though, that these nuclear options that they're not the nuclear options, but partnering with those companies to give them these reactors will not offset that hugely. I think they said the biggest one was like 500 megawatts or something. Combined, the 3 announcements could count for more than 5,000 megawatts of power by the late 2030s, with the possibility of more. So they're not building them fast enough to outpace the data center problems. So, but yeah, to your point, I mean, we went from AI to data centers to power consumption. There's a lot of need for for power. I mean, because of AI, and we talked about I think we talked once about Bitcoin. Bitcoin mines were being set, or farms were being set up in Eastern Washington. because hydropower was super cheap out there, so they would mine Bitcoin on them, use ASIC things, and then they stopped that. But now AI is going to be even worse because you've got whole data centers full of GPUs crunching shit. So,
and we can't. I mean, wind is not a good option because AI has to be powered up constantly, and also we don't like to burn fossil fuels, and
right.
If we do to power AI, we don't have enough. So
Right.
it has to be nuclear. I mean, if we're to survive, right, the AI storm that's going to come, and I'm talking maybe kinetic wars involved, we have to have better power supply. We have to have an upgraded grid, and we have to build these, what do you call, small modular nuclear reactors?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's got to be on the table.
Yeah.
And I think Gen 4 nuclear power, I don't think, at least on paper, they can have a meltdown. They can actually shut them off.
Right.
And they store the waste right there at the power plant.
Right.
Because it's so safe. And later on, they'll use that, what do you call it? Nuclear waste to power the 5th generation nuclear reactors.
Right. Yeah, I was actually, welcome. This is an InfoSec hour now. It's more like science hour, but I was actually reading in our Discord. I put a couple of links.
Related.
It's all related. It all tracks, right?
Yeah.
They figured out a way to reduce the amount of nuclear waste using neutron guns or something like that. But I think I posted a link in our Discord as well. But they were trying to figure out how to get rid of nuclear waste. But yeah, small modular reactors. Yeah, exactly what you mentioned there, Mr. Betcher, was 300 megawatt power for reactors, but they're modular, right? So you can expand them nearly indefinitely, and they fit,
Yeah.
In the same place where you could put 5 acres of solar panels, you could put a couple of hundred of these things all in one place, and they're designed to not, melt down.
They're very small. They can power cities if you put, a bunch of them next to each other. So
Yep.
we just got to get a handle on the uranium.
Yep.
Right. Because, I mean, there's enough right now, but you have to explore for that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot in Arizona, right? In the Grand Canyon area. But we have to explore for uranium now.
Right.
Because that's the future of power.
Right. And it's not power generation, it's also storage, right? So solid state batteries and stuff like that. So AI is going to cause a lot of transformation, and it may be, Miss Berlin works on a development team, so and so she would know that once you've built something, now you have to make it more efficient, make it smaller, make it better, make it faster. So they're going to figure out ways to make AI less shitty.
You don't have to, but that comes with consequences.
Right, that does come with consequences. But yeah, I mean, it all connects. So I don't say I've been analyzing things on the internet, but once I found out, hey, Amazon and Google are going to buy up a bunch of nuclear reactors, I was like, well, let's go find out what companies are making these. Are they publicly traded? Yes, they are. Yeah, the stock is like $60 a share when I last looked at it. But yeah, I've got it in my watch list on my E-Trade just to see where things are progressing right now. So, but yeah. Miss Berlin, did you have a story you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I think I put a couple of them in there.
Okay.
One was just one I thought was real interesting, the one about Okta. Did you see their LDAP notification about the Okta LDAP actually they found out that if you use a username that's 52 characters or more, you're not required to use a password.
Oh man.
Wait.
How is that possible?
Yes.
Well, one, I'm like, who's how do you?
That's got to be by design.
How do you have a 52 character password or a username?
Right?
Yeah.
And
So
like,
See, is that some
if you
sort of a
don't
buffer
have,
overflow or
that's what I was wondering.
why,
Like, is
why
that count as an
52?
authentication attack, or is that? And also, how do you figure that out? Who uses 52 character username? And I'm sure it's not a person, it's like a service or something, but still 52 characters?
how I didn't know that Okta was allowed to. I didn't know you could use service names in Okta for that purpose. Is that
I have no idea. I never set up.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, but you could only just provide the username.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, under a specific set of conditions listed below, this could allow users to authenticate by providing the username with the stored cache key of a previous successful authentication. So, if the vulnerability was exploited, this could allow a user to authenticate with the stored cache key of a previous successful authentication. It doesn't say the successful previous authentication of the existing user. So it does feel like maybe there's a code issue, like a buffer overflow, where it'd be like it's automatically going to jump to the next record and use that record, or something like that.
Yeah. Just
Wow.
real interesting.
Mm.
I
For
do
the-
think they found it and released it, right? It wasn't like
Yeah. Well, somebody went like, my name is Bob, like 150 or something, and then it was like, oh crap, that's interesting, and then it was like, oh, we bypassed. So, yeah, woof. Well, they found it in July. They said vulnerability introduced as a bug as part of the standard Okta release. Okay, so they figured out when it was introduced. And then on 10/30, they discovered it internally. Oh, so they fixed it within a day because they were like, oh, shit. So they found it on a Thursday and fixed it on a Thursday. So that's good. Yeah. Wow.
Somebody forgot his password. He was so pissed. He started beating his keyboard. And
or
then
it
he
was a
just pressed
cat
enter.
or something, like the cat jumped on the keyboard.
Cat typing. Yeah. Whose user?
How the cat guess my password? Oh, it didn't need one.
Well, brings
God.
New meaning to the monkeys typing on keyboards to solve equations.
Goodness. It says the authentication occurred between. Oh, so if the original authentication or the cached version was before July 23rd, this would not have been possible. But between July 23rd and October 30th. So what they're trying to tell you is that if you've authenticated, it sounds like they want you to maybe log everybody out and log everybody back in after you've applied the patch, so that way the caching doesn't work if you tried to set a 52 character bit.
You probably don't have to do it if you don't have any long usernames.
Right. Oh yeah, they say, investigate Okta system log for unexpected auths from usernames greater than 52 character. Does everybody have a 52 character password?
No, I bet you if you have a normal username, but you just that one time need to type in 52 plus characters, and then you could just.
I would love to know the person that figured that out. Like, was it like they just realized it while writing the code that you could do that, or did somebody actually accidentally do it and discover it?
Yeah, that would be.
Like you said, their cat did.
Yeah. Hey, my cat stepped on my keyboard and I was able to get in without using my authentication. Oh crap. Yeah.
Dang it, he found our back door.
Yeah. So to go back, thank you, Padre, for being here. I appreciate you. He said currently in sales, currently no AI. I bet AI is going to be invading your area there, Padre, with sales, because you're going to use AI to determine whether or not this is going to be a good sales lead or those people are interested. They're
for sales.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be like hey, based on your product, or, if you're into widgets and, this person doesn't want your widgets, don't waste your time on those. So they're going to make you more efficient. I would imagine it's going to help you, sell better. Like, this is the script you should probably use to, get people to buy your widgets.
To be honest, the AI tool that we use at work is pretty good. It will tell you a whole bunch about the conversation with the customer because it joins as like the note taker.
Oh gods.
Yeah.
Okay. Where
And
is it sending that information? Oh,
I'm
really?
sure somebody at our team figured that. That's not my job.
Privacy, forget it.
I just listen to the recordings for when I need product stuff.
Privacy is a 4-letter word. I don't need to know that.
Yeah. Somebody else okayed it.
So it
that's
basically
not-
tells you the mood of the people on the call, or
it tells you a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Oh,
Like it gives you the whole transcription, which is really super handy.
right.
It'll tell you
Right.
who talks at what parts, so it'll like break it down and be like, oh, like you talk too much, you probably should
Ah,
talk less or whatever. And it gives tips on the sale. It gives like
you
overview.
interrupted your customer 7 times.
Yeah,
That's not
right.
good.
I don't know if it does that. That would be cool. Yeah, but it's pretty neat.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I could definitely see. I would not be surprised if AI was first integrated into things like marketing and sales, because you want to get adoption of the product before you think about buying the product. So, it's going to help you make inferences on, those things. Or, hey, should we spend time writing on this product? Well, 55% of your customers might like that product, but 35% view that unfavorably. So you might want to, yeah. So there's a whole big thing there for that. So.
I think AI could probably tell the boss man which of his sales staff is scaring away customers, which ones are lying on the calls, right?
Yeah.
He's exaggerated your product 38% of the time. And
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yes, AI will change a lot of things, probably for the good and probably for the bad, but
we just have to adapt.
Some
Yeah.
of the things that it includes is like the customer's current situation and problems, their ideal future, like metrics if they mentioned any, decision criteria, if they
right.
mentioned any competitors. It has
Okay.
a whole coaching tab
Mhm.
to like coach. I don't know if this is to coach
Oh.
the.
Well, it's to give you
Oh,
pointers
this is
on
to
how
coach
well
the
you did. And
salesperson.
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
said, 57 times. You should work on that.
Yeah.
Is it that, or is it like, hey, the customer mentioned this during the call, you probably should call this out as a feature of, or is it like, you need to learn to talk better or something like that?
Well, that's the coaching.
The coaching bit,
You
yeah.
need to learn to
yeah.
talk better.
Well, there's different coachings, right? It's like your diction sucks, or is it like they mentioned this in the product, maybe you could use that to move more widgets or whatever.
Your vocabulary is at a 3rd grade level.
I wish. I
It's
wish.
like, this person should have inquired about specific metrics for success. And going forward, they should talk about quantifiable metrics.
Right.
They should have probed deeper into the decision-making process.
Yep.
And it ranks you 1 to 5 on all of these different like metric criteria things.
Yeah. So this reminds me of, like, I was on a call, I think, with a company that has a 7 in their name, and they were trying to sell me their scanner at the time, and I could hear the guy in the background. He was like their cheerleader or coach, and he was like, you could hear him in the background, and he would like, yeah, mention this or whatever. And I don't know if he was mentioning it to the guy that I was talking to, but it was like he was trying to do exactly what the AI was doing. It was like, hey, you should have mentioned XY widget or the on-demand scanning or something. You should have talked that up a bit more because they mentioned they needed on-demand scanning and whatever. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm seeing that. So yeah, boy, that's yeah. I figure marketing and PR are the ones that hyped up the AI to begin with, so they're going to be the first early adopters because they're going to have to eat their dog food to get people to believe it too. So yeah. So I have a it's not a good thing. Somebody died, I think. There's a wrongful death suit going on, but Security Affairs, I'd actually read this on Reddit. A former Disney employee was arrested after getting into the third-party food menu allergy guide and changing some things so that things that were supposedly had nuts in them no longer had nuts in them, and somebody died. So yeah, FBI arrested the man last week, falsely declaring some items as allergy safe that could be put the lives of visitors at risk. Fortunately, Disney detected the unauthorized changes to menus before they were distributed, preventing serious consequences. I had actually read something else that said that there was another like class action going on with Disney because somebody had died after an allergy issue. I need to find that, but let me see. Wrongful death, Disney food. Yes. So after a doctor suffered a fatal allergic reaction at Disney World restaurant last year, Disney tried to get her widower's wrongful death tossed. Okay, so this was updated on August 20th, 2024. I don't know when the allergy thing happened, when the guy hacked in and trying to change the menus for Disney, but this was a former employee apparently. And but yeah, that is a bad thing. That was a lack of making sure that somebody was offboarded to all of your systems before you let them go. And
I mean, come on, that's kind of a dick move, right? Like if you're gonna hack in and do something,
right?
I mean, do the opposite. Say everything has peanuts.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that would be funny.
Right.
Well, yeah, or
like,
nothing has peanuts.
Out.
The peanut chicken doesn't have peanuts in it. That kind of thing, right?
Zero it out so they lose a shit ton of money.
Right. Well,
but you're like,
right. If they zero it out, then you run into some issues there where this person tried to get people sick or injured or killed. So they arrested him, obviously, for that because he hacked into the systems. But this could have, he's a former employee, so he was trying to do it to get Disney into trouble. Because if somebody did die after they ordered something on a menu that didn't have peanuts on it or didn't have, wheatgrass or something in it, there's a wrongful death lawsuit. Disney's got empty, endless pockets. You killed my kids, you killed my husband or wife or significant other, give me $20-30 million worth of wrongful death, payments or whatever. And it was only because...
I don't know. That's a tough case. Can they really sue Disney if Disney did everything they could to prevent it, but this guy was a former employee, inside job, potentially?
Well,
I mean, they should be going after him, not Disney. Right.
I mean, did they do everything they could?
They'll go after
they have to make that case.
Right. The lawyers will go after the folks with the more money. And it'll be Disney didn't offboard that person properly when they fired them. Disney knew that this person was a problem. They may go after the third party that prints the menus because, they got owned.
They forgot to take away his access.
They forgot to take away his access.
To security.
Exactly. Brings it back down to security. But, Disney would be like, well, we ordered the peanut chicken off here that says had no peanuts in it, and we ate it, and then we got sick and we all died. And then it's like, well, Disney's gonna be like, so that could have gone way worse. But it sounds like Disney figured it out. Internal investigation identified the menu production manager was fired in a contentious manner last June. Oh, wait, June. When did that lady die?
I'm sorry, but if you're allergic to food and you know about it and you're not carrying, what is it, an EpiPen or something? I mean, it's a little bit on you. I'm sorry. I don't know the situation.
Because you cannot trust restaurants.
No, you cannot. My wife, we can't go to Asian restaurants anymore unless we actually know what's in the food because, Asian restaurants use a lot of seafood. Sauces and broths and stuff like that. And, she's, got allergies to seafood. And, so if you order the, Thai chicken, it uses a seafood broth or something. It's like,
Yep.
And just
So-
like cross contamination in general.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Depending,
Yeah, somebody
gluten-free.
could make a mistake. They thought
Yeah.
they were doing number 720 and it was
Yep.
270,
Yep.
Yeah.
something like
Exactly. Yep. Okay, so this happened back in 2019, so that's completely different. Yeah, but they've, Disney has had to pay what, $50,000 in damages because of this lady who died because of, she was highly allergic to dairy and nuts at one of the restaurants and got sick. And so yeah, they're still settling that as of 2024. So but yeah, they're trying to use a clause in Disney Plus or whatever to try to do that, which is kind of shitty. But yeah, they're going to get some money out of that if they rule in favor of the people. So, and this could have killed somebody. So this guy, he could have attempted murder. You could, any kind of thing there. But it was just interesting to see that this could directly kill people. Not just hey, you hacked into an electrical company and did something, but it's like you could really ruin somebody's life. So yeah, so that shitbag is being arrested. He's probably being charged. FBI arrested him because it was federal, right? So that was nice. I see. Yeah, so
On a happier note, we could talk about the Sans Holiday Hack Challenge.
yeah, I think we should. It comes out every year. I think they mentioned it at the Hack Fest that I went to just recently too. So
Yeah. So I got to talk to Ed, I don't know, during my travels in the last couple weeks. And they kind of changed the format, which is kind
Really?
of cool. Yeah. So they have a prologue. They're starting like a month earlier.
oh yeah,
So they start soon.
yeah, like next week.
Yeah. And they have a prologue, which lets you like sign up and get in there and like
Right.
get acclimated to everything. And then they have 3 different sections that they're going to release it in. And now you can have groups.
Oh, so
Where you can-
teams.
couldn't really have-
Okay.
yeah, you couldn't have teams before, but now you can, which is really cool.
Okay. So some of the challenge topics were ransomware, reverse engineering, hardware hacking. Interesting. Web app hacking with MQTT and video feed manipulation, video game hacking. Oh. Threat hunting with KQL, SIMSEM analysis. I don't know what that is. Mobile app pen testing, OSINT via drone path analysis, web exploration with curl, and PowerShell for cyber defense. So those are some of the challenge topics that will be in this year's Holiday Hack Challenge. So very cool. Are you going to have a team, Miss Berlin?
I'm going to try and get people to work to do it with me.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
And I've never been great at anything other than defer.
Okay.
So like if there's a packet capture, that's the first thing I'll do.
Right. Right.
But I've recently I had a small side project that I needed to use Burp for. And
Okay.
I was able to do something really cool successfully. So
Nice.
I'm gonna know a little bit more about
Nice.
like web app stuff.
Okay. Okay.
I've just never been my strong suit. There
Oh.
was a whole section last year on it.
Right. Right. Okay. They say every challenge will offer 2 modes, an easy and a hard mode. Players can
Nice.
choose either mode to solve the challenge depending on skill level or preference. So you could be easy on the reverse engineering, but
Sure.
hard on the hardware hacking or something like that.
I don't know about anybody else, but I will probably accidentally solve it one of the 2 ways.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they say
It
each
was like,
challenge
"Oh,
will
look,
include
I solved that the hard way. That
Yeah,
wasn't
they-
even
It says challenge skipping. Each challenge will include a playthrough mode, allowing players to advance the storyline without solving the challenge immediately. You can skip a challenge and return to it later. So that's kind of cool. I wonder,
Mhm.
my guess is you get to like, the advent calendars, 1 to 20 or 1 to 24. And it's like, oh, you get to day 3 and you're like, shit, I can't get through this. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what am I going to do now? And then it's like, oh, I give up. I'm done. So you never actually finish it. Right.
Right.
So, depending on that level, like me, I get to day 1 and I'm like, oh, I can't figure this out. I'm done. Okay. And then
You mean I can't find a flag if I just right click and view page source?
Exactly. You know, if I can't type IDDQD in there and get God mode, I'm just going to quit. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. So it starts on the 7th, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It starts on a Thursday. I'm assuming it starts Thursday US time. So keep an eye out for that. You can sign up, first name, last name, email, country. You know, signing up will also sign you up probably to Sans emails. Just a heads up there. You know, I don't want to dog Sans, but you know, I'm going to get my CEUs right now because I'm trying to get my GWAP and my GCIH recertified without paying $8,500 for a class. And their summits are actually not too bad. They're free. You get them online. You know, you sit here on a Slack for, 6-7 hours a day while I'm working. I'm hearing people talking about purple teaming for AI and whatever. They have a DFIR one happening in January or February, I think, a threat hunting one as well. They also have ones in London. I would have went to the one in December in London, but it would have started at like 2 a.m. But they have a bunch of them, and they count for CEUs for your SANS certifications, and well, ISC squared as well. So it's it's nice that they're giving away some stuff for free to help you maintain your GWAP and your GCIH stuff. So I didn't understand a lot of the AI stuff because it's speaker talks and they're there, but I ask questions and I get involved in the Slack channel, and there's a lot of research stuff in there, and they have a lot of resources to things which I've posted up in our Slack for people to take advantage of, like YAML tutorials or cheat sheets on things. So it's quite good, quite a nice resource to have. So. Now I have to get my Scrum certifications up for April. So, yeah, being a certified product owner is a lot of fun, Miss Berlin. You should try.
It's great.
You will do Scrum and you will like it.
I posted something to LinkedIn the other day because we were watching Deadpool Wolverine movie.
I did. I saw that. Yeah.
And there was a point where so the TVA is like the guy or the company that keeps track of the timeline or something.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And he was like really, really angry that there were all these like QA checks in place, and he didn't want any of those to happen, and it just needed to be now. I'm like, that sounds like sprint close.
To be done.
It has to be done.
Customer
like,
acceptance is done. That's right. Wow.
No, you see Scrum in everything you do. It's great.
Yep. Anyway, so one more thing, and a lot of people made I think the internet imploded when Microsoft talked about Recall, which, not the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the god-awful remake with that one guy, but Recall was another AI issue, another AI-based or powered feature for timelining on your machine, kind of like, hey, you can go back to a certain point in time on your machine. You were doing something, maybe you wanted to get back to that, and it was supposed to drop in like October, and only on certain machines. But now they've had to further delay it because what did they say? First reported by The Verge, Microsoft said Recall was postponed for further testing due to significant customer pushback asking for more robust data privacy and security protections. And probably a handful of tweets from folks like Jeff Williams who said, oh, I can own up people left, right, and center with this. So they said, they explained when unveiled in May, AI-powered feature was designed to take a screenshot of active windows every few seconds, analyze them on device, using an AI model and a neural processing unit, and store collected data in a SQLite database. So yeah, apparently people had issues with this because storing it in a SQLite database probably needs to
Just
have.
what you want is like a SQLite database on every machine.
Well, we probably already have them on there.
I mean,
Yeah.
We have a Jet database on every Windows.
Really?
Yeah, since
it's 7.
XP.
Did XP have it?
I think
Really?
so.
What's it do?
Well, for one thing, it stores, well, in XP, I think it stores, no, the Windows 10. It stores all your system utilization resource monitoring
Okay.
data.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think a Jet database is standard on all Windows after
Okay.
XP.
Okay. Wow.
And you can use it if you knew how.
Mm.
So,
For like what?
Yeah.
Storing things?
mhm.
Okay. You were talking about System Manager. I just saw something, I think I left it on my other laptop, where they said Windows System Manager is not reporting all the processes.
SRUM, that's what it is called, or the acronym.
SRUM. No, I think, yeah, you've mentioned that before on the show a long time ago, though.
Mm-hmm.
Not reporting all processes. Yeah, I want to say that I saw something where they said it was missing some processes or wasn't showing all the processes currently. Oh, here it is. Windows 11 Task Manager bug shows wrong number of running processes. Microsoft's investigating a new Windows 11 issue that causes Task Manager to say there are 0 running apps or background processes. However, Task Manager doesn't display the correct number of active processes. This is just a reporting issue. The app is otherwise fully functional and will show a list of running apps and processes. So,
Okay. It's just reporting the wrong number.
yeah, reporting error. Yeah, but I use System Informer now because I actually find it's quite good. But yeah, and it tells me more. So, but yeah, there's a whole mess of stuff out there news-wise. I actually had some things in this list that weren't even security related. Like somebody figured out where the first wheel might have been written or came from, so or why it was invented. So that was kind of cool. Did you add the midnight?
Was it Scrum related?
It is not Scrum related. It
Might be.
Well, it was iterations, right? They iterated over a product. So UGG decided that he needed to have some way of moving things, and OGG came up with this idea. And where was it? Oh, there it is. It's popular mechanics. So take it with what you will. I think they figured out ancient copper mines needed to move things in narrow tunnels because they didn't have the tools with which to make large expansive tunnels and train kind of things. So being able to move a box through a narrow hallway out so that you didn't die required something. Yeah, a little bit of grease, instead of trying to drag it or push it through, because UGG could not, get out once the big, container was full of ore or what have you. So they said they used AI, I think, to actually break down what might have the likely evolution of wheels during the early days using certain criteria. So another way we're using AI to figure out why the wheel was invented. So
That's important.
shit, fucking AI.
I know that was in the back of my mind.
I need to find some easy AI training that can teach me how to do something without keeping me locked into a specific ecosystem, like Copilot training or Gemini training or just generic AI training, or make your own fucking AI. What's his name? Our good friend, Better Safety Net, Mick Douglas. He's working on an AI tool, so he told me he'd come on the show whenever they were at the next level. So
I got to see him at Wild West Hacking Fest. It was very nice.
How was he?
I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's been busy. He's been super busy. So anyway, but yeah, so I'll actually put this out as an audio podcast because I need to do something with our Libsyn. Ms. Berlin, are you going to be at any conferences in the near future?
No.
Oh, is it over?
Yeah.
Conference season over?
Conference season is over. Shmoo will be my next one.
There's no more Shmoo.
This is the last one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The
So-
last one.
So I should probably try to get a ticket.
You should. It was the
Nobody
other
gets-
day. It was the first one.
Nobody gets a ticket to Schmidt.
I'm
It's
gonna
fine.
submit to speak. We'll see if it gets. I've always gotten turned down.
Well, if you get turned down, then you're 12 for 12 or whatever it is.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. You gonna do Village
the-
there at all? You gonna do Village?
No, there's never any room,
Oh, I see.
and we don't have
I
enough
see.
money to
Yeah.
get a suite or anything.
Oh, okay.
However, if anybody's listening and has a company that wants to sponsor us, we totally would.
There you go.
We're potentially going to do DEF CON because I keep
Oh.
on having people reach out to me that were there last year and really saw a need for it and
Yeah.
were confused why we weren't there.
Yeah.
So I talked to Grifter and I talked to a couple
Okay.
other people.
Okay. Right on.
Hopefully, if that happens, we can get some real sponsors to put on a really cool village there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah, the quiet spot they had for DEF CON ended up becoming where everybody was taking phone calls and having meetings and stuff like that. And there was actually a neurodiverse kind of room where it was very darkened, and it reminded me of your mental health villages and stuff, but it didn't feel like it was well advertised. So it was just off from there, but it was very nice. I did some quiet music. I was working and gooning, but I wasn't able to go in there a lot, but it looked like it was a good time. But yeah. Okay. Well, Mr. Betcher, are you on to any conferences besides Austin or anything like that?
No, in fact, besides, I have a company thing that I have to go to the day besides Austin is, which is December 5th and 6th. So
Damn.
I won't be able to make it.
Oh, sorry, man. Damn. Yeah, I think the next one I'll be going to is probably an on-site in New York. I think we're probably going to have another on-site in New York before B-Sides San Diego. And then I'm hoping that they'll ask me back for DEF CON. I mean, I didn't kill anybody or, have the cops called on me, so I should be pretty good. But yeah, so we'll chat before then, of course. But Ms. Berlin, people want to talk to you about Scrum or...
Don't. Just don't.
They wanted to reach out to you about threat hunting or Blumira
Never.
or anything like that. How would they find you?
LinkedIn at Amanda Berlin, and I've been on X, Twitter,
Yeah.
a little bit lately. So at InfoSister, INFOSTIR.
All right. Mr. Betcher, how about you? If they wanted to, talk to you about, your work or anything interesting, nuclear power,
Nuclear power.
Yeah. You can reach me on LinkedIn.
Yep. Very cool. Okay. I heard everybody's trying to go to Blue Sky because Mastodon's a failure, and in certain ways, infosec.exchange is still pretty good. But I've heard a lot of people moving from Twitter who hadn't gone to Mastodon was trying to go to Blue Ski or Blue Sky or whatever the hell they're calling it. Because
I have an account on it, but I don't use it.
yeah, I do too. I don't use it either. So yeah, hit me up on LinkedIn. I get a lot of people, hitting me up on that now because, well, I hit the Sand Summit stuff and I introduced myself. So yeah, LinkedIn. I think it's linkedin.com. Breakb. Just look up Breakb. So BRAKEB. And yeah, I'm on Twitter as well, Brian Break. So I'll be there until they shut the lights off or somebody sells it. So. But that's it. Everyone, thanks everybody for joining in, listening in. Padre, thank you so much for being here and adding to our conversation. And yeah, hope everyone has a good rest of their week. Take care of themselves. And holidays are coming up, so it can be stressful for folks. Thanksgiving is weird.
A good
ahead.
holiday just like
Yeah, love Halloween. Love Halloween. But yeah, Thanksgiving gets weird. Family events, Christmas, New Year's. We're getting into that short time. I think we only have, about 5 weeks until everybody decides to, fuck off and do Christmas stuff. So try to take some time off. take time off for you. Don't necessarily have to do it with family or whatever, just to get recharged, because the doldrums of January will be here before we know it. So anyway, have a great day and take care, y'all. This is BreakSec. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. As Rafana saying, you're the only you've got. Okay? All right. Take care. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.